Franklin opens his eyes. He's home, lying next to Mary Beth. With a foggy head, he stumbles out of bed and realizes that he can walk. The family celebrates for a moment before the ghost appears, making Franklin realize that the moment wasn't real, that he's dreaming. He wakes up on the floor of his workshop, and full of desperation, he swears to do whatever it takes to get back to Wonderland. Franklin leaves the house in a state of hysteria to work for the day. While walking the streets of London, he is haunted by familiar faces from Wonderland and approaches them. These everyday people do not recognize him and peddle him as a madman. Franklin, tired and frustrated and beginning to lose his mind, eventually reaches Bartholomew's smoke shop to find Barry for answers. In a crazed state, Franklin tries to convince Barry to give him his pipe so that he can return to Wonderland and Yola. With Barry's unwillingness to share his pipe, Franklin, overcome with madness, loses control and beats Barry to death. He then takes the pipe and makes his way back to Wonderland. Franklin arrives to Lixir, where the Wonderlandonians are saddened about Barry's death. Thinking that the Queen is behind it, Yola and her friends decide it's time to stand up for what is right and end her reign of terror.
Step out of the bitter world. I can't leave things as they be. Step out of the bitter world and stand up next to me.
To their shock, the guards then arrive to question them about Barry's murder. Yola confronts Franklin, and he confesses to killing Barry, claiming it was the only way to get back to her. Believing their love is now tainted, she tells Franklin to leave Wonderland and never return.
I've got to let you go, can dwell on this lament. No matter right or wrong, the past we cannot mend. It's crazy to believe the fairy tale I lived. I wish I never knew the thrill of touching you, too precious to be true.
Scared and overcome with emotion, she walks away. Lost in the madness and doom of the situation, Franklin steals the crystal with hopes that it will transform his miserable London life into a similar utopia. The crystal has created a new life for Franklin and his family in London, a life of wealth and sophistication. Once Franklin's acquainted himself with his new reality, Philip is found playing with his father's possessions from Wonderland, after being told not to do so. Franklin makes to beat his son, but the realization that he's becoming his father stops him. He peers into the crystal, which, acting as a window between the two worlds, shows him Yola being beaten by the Queen's Guard. Franklin, flooded with guilt, decides to leave his family and go back to Wonderland.
Forever, you promised forever, and still you took the life out of me. Our love is just a memory.
Back in Wonderland, Franklin finds a decaying world, far from the one he's seen before. He seeks the Queen and confesses to his thievery. By using the crystal as leverage, he negotiates with the Queen. She agrees to release Yola and her friends, but blinded by anger, and once she's in possession of the crystal, she uses its powers to punish the guilty. With Yola being turned into the lowest of all Wonderland creatures, a hare. She is now trapped in a new kind of hell with Bailey and Franklin, where their knowledge of the life they once lived is locked deep in their minds, blurred by the madness of a never-ending tea party.
Nothing better than a hatter, nobody better than a hatter.